Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Okay, adjusting my camera because it's always wonky. I don't know why. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in to the Four Seasons channel, Four Seasons podcast. I'm your host, Four Seasons, spelled Ivsznz. What's up, Leo Weechi? Thank you for being in the chat, brother. Go enjoy your food, man. Go enjoy your food. I thank you for stopping in. Let me do my shout outs because we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to make sure everybody know who you are, my brother. Go follow Eloichi. He was playing 007 last night. No, night before last. It's really dope. It's a really dope game. The soundtrack, my goodness, is on fire. So shout outs to him, most definitely. But welcome in, everybody. Again, I am your host, Four Seasons. That is pronounced Ivsznz. And this is a space curated by us all, you and I, to be open, honest, and vulnerable surrounding the topics of mental health, relationships, self-esteem, goal setting, goal achieving, and accountability. So welcome in, everybody. What we do here at the beginning of our check-in, a big part of our check-in is just, shooting the stuff. How are we feeling today? What's on our minds? I'm gonna put the question in the chat. So for those that come in, have that and I'm gonna pin it too. Period. There we go. But how are we feeling right now? What's on your mind? For me, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm thankful and grateful to be here. I'm thankful and grateful to be better because week before last, I was sick. I was going through it. My energy was off. And being physically sick was a thing. And then there were so many things outside of my control that were coming at me that weren't in the best vein for me, that just kind of made me being sick elevated, right? And so I'm happy to be here today in a better headspace and a better mindset, to be present with you guys, right? So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm feeling good, and I'm happy to be here to be present with you guys, to do what we do here every Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. Shout outs to the Four Seasons community for always showing up and showing out. I appreciate y'all without a doubt. Y'all really help me push through when I don't really want to sometimes. So thank y'all for that. So with that being said, we did our first set of introductions about how we're feeling. We're going to move into the meat and potatoes of the introduction, if you will, right? So let me go ahead and switch scenes. There we go. So the second part of our check-in, our introduction, is something that we curated here called the line dynamic, right? And so what the line dynamic is a visual representation of where we're at mentally, where our mindset is at, right? And so we have 3 different tiers, 3 different levels, and I'm going to start from top to bottom and explaining those. And then after the explanation, we're going to ask where we're at on the line, right? So starting from top to bottom, where it's above, right? Above the line. And by these emojis that we see, smiling, happy, laughing, chill, those are a reflection of how we feel when we're above the line, right? Being above the line means I'm operating at all cylinders. All cylinders are go. All checks are go. All things are green, right? And being above the line for me means that I can do what I need to do. Things are happening in the way that I feel like they should be happening in my favor, right? And being above the line for me, this is just me talking. Sometimes it may be different from you, but whenever I am operating in a space being above the line and I have a little more extra energy to give, I give it to those around me, right? Because we never know what silent battles we're all facing. Somebody could be happy presenting like they're above the line, but deep down inside they may be below, right? But they're just good at masking that feeling, right? And so whenever I'm truly above the line with spirit energy, I give it to those around me that may be on the line, may be below the line, because you never know what that energy is going to do for them, right? So that is what I do when I am operating above the line. And again, if I have any extra energy, because sometimes we may not have the extra energy or push to give to somebody because we just may have enough for us, and that is okay. Don't feel selfish by putting time into self. Yes, we can help when we can, but you have to make sure that you're good first, right? And so for me, like I said, that's what I do when I'm operating above the line. So we're going to move to tier 2, which is in the middle on the line. And so based off these emojis, as you guys can see, they're non-reactive, right? They're just consistent. It's just a straight face, right? And so being on the line reflects that. Being on the line means I'm okay. Things aren't great, but they aren't terrible either, right? I'm operating in a space where I'm just okay. I'm stable, if you will, right? And what I'm learning as I'm getting older, as things are happening in the world, where I'm at in this generation, and I'm noticing with a lot of people, a lot of us operate on a being on the line consistent basis, right? We are constantly just okay because so many things are happening, great and bad, and it's hard to what is the word? It's hard to gauge how much we can do of something because it's always something happening, especially with social media. It was a mess for me because I would be happy or above the line at 1 minute. I go scrolling, that puts me all the way back down the line, right? So me being off of social media has definitely been a blessing when it comes to me regulating. That's the word I was looking for. Regulating my thoughts, my emotions, and all those things, right? So yeah, being on the line just means I'm okay. That's it. And sometimes that's all we can do, and that's okay if that's all we have. Is as long as we're here, as long as we're, present if we can be, that's okay in the moment, right? And so moving on to our final tier for the line dynamic, which is below the line. And if you guys can see by the emojis here at the bottom of the screen, angry, sad, discontent, shocked, disgusted, right? Those are a reflection of what it means for us to be below the line, right? And so for me, when I'm feeling yucky, when I'm not feeling the best, and I feel that if I do reach out to people, I may just be bleeding onto them whatever emotions or feelings that I'm currently having. I isolate because I don't ever want to be in a position where what I'm going through that's hurting me is going to harm somebody else because I may not know how to regulate those emotions or those words or those feelings in a proper, healthy way, right? And so when I am in those moments, what I do is isolate. I just spend time with God. I do talk to him about whatever it is that I'm going through, and I get clarity from that. I'm learning that give it to God, let it go, and let God, right? And all we really can do is control our reactions. Everything else that's happening around us, we can't really control. We can just control how we react to those situations. And my way of not reacting volatilely when I'm in such a negative below the line state, I isolate and give it to God. I give him all that because I know he loves me for me, so that's what I do. I isolate. And then once I am led to be in a position where I'm free to share it, I reach out to my support system, my support group, right? And my support system could look vastly different than your support system, right? So for me, my support system is consistent of my family, my friends, professional help, so a life coach, a therapist, something along those lines. And then last but definitely not least, obviously God. But I lean into my church family, my spiritual leaders, and that's what my support system is consisted of at this moment, right? And so, like I said, when I am at a place where I'm not bleeding onto others, I reach out to my support system at all of those branches at once, right? Because I know that something from one of those things that support me, or at least one of those things, is going to push me up, is going to push me higher, because that's what the support system is there for, to support us. And so eventually, the reaching out to my support system pushes me higher to being on the line, or even just shoots me all the way up to being above the line, right? And so that is what I tend to do when I'm in those situations. And so with that being said, that is the explanation of the line dynamic. So I asked to you guys to chat, where is it that you are at on the line today? Shout out to A Wise Dream. Thank you for lurking, my brother. I appreciate you. Go support him, because he has been doing a lot of games here lately. So yeah, go support. I'm going to give us a few moments to write our thoughts in the chat, and then we can be back here and discuss more of that. Be right back. All right. We are back. So where are we at on the line today? For me, I am operating at a space of being above the line. I'm happy and grateful and thankful to be here. I'm happy for my health. I'm in good health. I'm happy at how certain conversations and certain relationships that happened this past week were rectified, or things were on a positive swing. So I'm happy and thankful for that. I'm thankful for you all. I'm thankful to, be able to come here, stand up, speak, have a clear mind, letting God lead me, to be present for you guys. I'm being more consistent as much as I can when it comes to this, and I feel good. I feel good to always be here, even in the moments where I may not want to. If y'all was here last week, y'all could see last week I was not in the best headspace. But there's something about me being consistent with this. This is my baby. So I'm gonna show up for my baby. Especially being an only child, it's very important for me for people to show up when they do. So I'm showing up for myself. I am, my number one supporter. So I'm showing up for myself by being consistent with something that I love, that I feel like helps not only just me but other people, right? So I'm really happy and thankful and grateful to be here. My bad. So yes, I'm operating in that space. Um, so yeah. So I'm very much above the line. So I hope you guys are operating in a space of being above the line as well. That's really what the aim of the game is for this podcast. Like I said, it's a space and a place for us to be open, honest, and vulnerable. About things we may not have the pleasure of sharing with other people, right? So this is that space curated for that. So with that being said, let us move into where is it at? Where is it? Is this it? No, that's the wrong thing. That's that's the wrong thing. Let us move into the meat and potatoes of the episode tonight, right? So, this month, the theme of the month. Let me switch to this thing. The theme of the month of May was "What You Water Grows," right? So everything that we talked about, every word of the week that we had, was in conjunction with "What You Water Grows," right? And so just a refresher of what some of the words of the week were. Week 1, the word of the week was momentum. Week 2, the word of the week was mindset. And week 3, the word of the week was maturity, right? So those were our main words for the for the month of May, right? And so what we're going to do here is have our May reflection. So we're just going to reflect on the month of May. We're going to reflect on the good, the bad, and everything indifferent, right? Because compared to last month, this was a very short month. I think last month we had like four words. So it was quite a lot of content that we had to discuss, right? And so this month, we only got 3, which is fine. 3 enough. 3 is enough. 3 is enough for me, right? And so we're going to just do some reflection, right? And so the first question that we have today for the May reflection is, which word of the week showed up the most for you this month? Again, the first question is, which word of the week showed up the most for you this month? For me, and out of the words, it's momentum, mindset, and maturity. I I'm honestly leaning towards one, but I feel like almost all three of these showed up on a consistent basis for me. Um, I would say maturity. Maturity is the one is sticking out for me for this question. Um, and I'd say maturity showed up the most for me this month because I was put in a lot of positions and a lot of situations where if I were the old me, I would have reacted in a way that would be volatile to not only myself but those around me, right? I was challenged in certain ways about my character. I was challenged about how I do certain things by people who don't even know me, to be honest, right? And that was one thing I had at the forefront of my mind in those situations, that these people really don't know me, and I give them grace because of that, but also in the sense that if you don't know me, you need to get to know me because I'm a great person. I'm not the best person, but I'm a great person to get to know. And so having those things in my mind, it allowed me to be like, okay, if I do react in a way with my emotions, because we talk about physical, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally about things, right? So if I was really in my emotions during those situations, I really would have reacted in a way that would have negative consequences in the long term for me, right? Or even for those people, but ultimately for me, because I'm in control of my life, right? Well, God is in control of my life, how He leads me, but my actions, He gives us a choice, so I choose to act or react in a way that isn't going to cause me harm or anybody else harm, right? And I think that's where and why the word maturity for me showed up so consistently this month. Knowing that I have my own back, and I guess giving grace to people who may not give me the same amount of grace is a semblance of maturity as well, because it's like, hey, if you don't give me grace, but I give you grace on situations, it should be twofold, right? But it's not. That's not how life is. But that's how God is leading me, is that, hey, you can be disrespectful to me, say what you want about me, or have these opinions about me, but I'm not going to give that back to you. I'm going to, and that's something we learned in prayer call, is that this generation is all about matching energy, right? What you give out to me, I'm gonna give to you. I can't do that no more, because I know that God doesn't want me to match that type of energy. That by Him giving me the ability to think sometimes before some of these situations is giving me the power to not match that energy. It's giving me the power to walk away. It's giving me the power to react in a calmer way. And that's one thing I noticed. People who are volatile or ecstatic with their behaviors, if you give them calm, quiet responses, it just drives them up the wall, right? And so I love doing that, not because it drives people up the wall, because I'm not going to make that level, because it doesn't require that. Whatever the situation's happening, it does not require us to be both escalated, right? And so yeah, I'll say for me that maturity is the word of the week for this month that showed up the most for me this month, most definitely. Now we're going to move into question number 2. Which word of the week showed up the least for you this month? The least. Well, it's only between 3, right? I mean 2. Momentum or mindset. I would say for this, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say for this month, momentum out of all the words of the week showed up the least for me this month. And I think a big portion of that comes from, one, me being sick the last week and a half, me going through those challenging moments that I was telling you guys about earlier in the podcast, going through those moments on top of being sick, and being unsure about certain things. I'm not the perfect Christian. I don't think there is a perfect Christian, And sometimes I don't give everything to God that I should. Sometimes I'm in my feelings about things. I'm human. That's what it is. I'm working on that. Um, but that's something that I operated in a few times this month that really made me feel like I need an extra push. I need an extra umph. And I was talking to some of my friends and some of my church family. I think this next month I'm going to start another fast. I've not been fasting this month. I know last month, was it last month? Or maybe the past 2 months. Excuse me. I know at the beginning of the year, we did a fast with my church. And then I think 2 months after that, back in March. Back in March, we did another fast. And I kind of want to get back on that mindset of starving my flesh so that my spirit can start being fed, because I think my loss of momentum for certain things is coming from not being fed spiritually. I have the resources, but I'm leaning more into my flesh for some things. I'm leaning back to old habits that I probably shouldn't be doing. And to rectify that, I need to starve my flesh. I need to fast and remove some of those things for a period of time so I can get back spiritually full and operating in a place where I do have momentum to keep going, to keep pushing through, right? So yeah, I would definitely say that momentum for me is the word of the week that showed up the least amount for me this month, most definitely. Yeah. And that's just being transparent and honest with you guys. So that's what we're here to do, is be honest and open and transparent. So yes, momentum would be the one that showed up the least for me this month. Moving on to question number 3. Which word of the week did you struggle the most with this month? Which word of the week did you struggle the most with this month? Okay, so I would say I would honestly say it's a tie between two of them, right? So I would say mindset and maturity. Yes, maturity for me showed up the most this month, but it was also a big struggle because I wanted to lean into not being mature in some of these situations. I wanted to be petty. I wanted to match energy. I wanted to do all that petty stuff, all that flesh driven actions. I wanted to be a part of that, but I didn't. And that's the thing where the maturity came in. It was a struggle, but I did it. So it did show up the most for me this month. And it was a struggle for me. But I did it. Even going through what I've been going through, this past month. I got the hiccups. My bad, y'all. Even going through what I went through this month, I was like, I don't want to be mature. But God led me to be mature in those situations, and I'm thankful for that, because in the long run, it's going to benefit me more. It's going to benefit me better because I did not react in my emotions. I was more mature in those situations. And mindset was a struggle for me because of those things, right? And so I'd say mindset, momentum, and maturity, they all kind of flow into each other. My mindset I was struggling with because of so many things that were going on, which affected my maturity, right? It was challenging me to be more mature, but it was hard for me to do that because my mindset wasn't in the right place, right? My mind was on a lot of things that it shouldn't have been on, right? And because of that, it challenged me a lot. Challenged me more than it would regularly do because my mindset was off. And me talking about this is just reinforcing me that I need to do the fast next month. So I'm definitely going to do a fast next month. I would love for you guys to be a part of it. I don't know how long we're going to fast for, but it's definitely something I'm going to enact here on this channel because it's helped me, and the people that have done the fast with me, it's helped them as well. So why not, right? So just keeping that in my mind. So I will be better equipped next month, or even moving forward after next month, because I'm fasting, and so my mindset will be clearer. I'll have less resistance and less struggles when it comes to my maturity, and because of that, my momentum will continue to go further. You see how I did that, y'all? Y'all see that? So yeah, I would definitely say that I struggled the most with both maturity and mindset this month. But while they were struggles, they did not end me. They did not put me down, and I overcame those struggles for the most part. I'm not perfect, but I did overcome those struggles this month. So that's a great thing. And last but definitely not least, question number 4. Which word of the week did you find least challenging this month? Least challenging. To be honest, I don't think any of them were least challenging. I feel like they had some semblance of challenge. Yes, mindset and maturity were the ones that stood out the most when it came to the ones that I struggled the most with this month. But momentum, was a challenge too, because like I said, they all flow into each other. Because my mindset was off, I did not have the proper momentum to do what I feel like I should have done or could have done this week in some spaces, right? And my mindset and my maturity, and like we said, they go hand in hand as well. So yeah, I would say they were all around challenging, but I guess the least challenging was momentum, because I didn't stop. I could have gone harder. I could have gone stronger. Could have gone faster, stronger, better, faster, stronger, right? But I did not stop. I may have stumbled. I may have walked instead of jogged or sprinted when it came to certain situations. But I didn't stop. And I'm noticing that old me in certain situations, I would just check out. I check out. I not be present. I move on to the next, right? But what God is showing me in this season is that I have the tools to endure what I need to endure. He has given me the ability to go through those things that he needs me to, and not go around them, right? I'm going through them for a reason, because there's a lesson out of all these things that God puts us through, right? And so I'm learning that I have to still be present for things, even if my energy may not be 100. Showing up is the first part of the battle, right? And so being consistent in the showing up, I may not be 100% all the time, right? But I'm able to give something, right? My presence is still there. And being realistic, we're never going to be 100% all the time. That's not realistic. That's not how we work. Some days, like with the line dynamic, some days we're above the line, some days we're on the line, and some days we're below it. And even through all those things, with me, showing up when I am below the line on the podcast, right? That's it's not a loss in momentum, because I'm not stopping. It's still going. It's just not as effective. It's just not as quick, right? It's not as potent as it may usually be. And so I'm just learning more and more that I don't have to stop. I can slow down sometimes, but I'm not going to stop, because God doesn't want me to stop in the situations that he has put me in. He wants me to continue on even when it may be hard for me. Being consistent, and that's the big thing. Being consistent is, I think for me, has been one of the biggest lessons or turnarounds for me, is that doing things even when you don't want to, but being consistent is going to make those situations better in the long run. Be it professional stuff, so like working, this is professional for me. Being relationships, being consistent in relationships, consistent with the things that you say you're going to do. And I think that goes into hand in hand with another thing that I've been working on for the past year and a half, is being a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But in the same breath, I am very cautious when it comes to saying I'm going to do something. I have to, one, consult with God. I have to make sure everything that is going to, or everyone that is involved in these things, is on one accord. And so I'm not quick to accept certain things, because I know I need time for myself, and that's one thing I'm learning about church. There's so many things happening. There's so many events, things, and we need so many people to be a part of it. And I'm so quick to be like, yeah, sure. But then I'm like, ooh, you saying, yeah, sure, but you're not going to have the same energy to do the other things that you may have committed to. And that just goes back to me being consistent. Even when I may not have the energy to be present, I'm still going to be consistent in the things that I say I'm going to do. And so, yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So like I said, for question number 4, all of them have been challenging. Momentum, mindset, maturity, all of them have been challenging for me. But I would say, yeah, there's not one least challenging for me. They all prove to be challenges or struggles for me this month, which I'm thankful for because I got through this month. I didn't, chicken out. I didn't turn away and run and tuck my tail. That was not what I was going to do. I went through it, and so going through the challenge, there's lessons that I learned. So I'm happy about that. All right, y'all. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. So we have did our May reflection questions, right? And we also have our 4 seasons of understanding, right? And so we're going to apply the May reflection to our 4 seasons of understanding. So if you guys are new or you need a refresher, the 4 seasons of understanding are mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, right? So I'm going to talk about the month of May and reflect on those 4 seasons. 4 seasons of understanding, right? So we're going to talk about mental for season 1. So this month, my mental, as we talk with mindset, was up and down. I was sick. I was being challenged. I was being pushed and pulled and questioned about certain things. So it was difficult. And there were definitely times where my mental was struggling, was cracked or fractured a little bit. But I would say this last week really rounded that out, and showed me that I got the mental fortitude to still persevere, right? So yeah, I would say that for mental for May is that I had challenges, I had struggles, but I persevered mentally, definitely. Season 2, which is the physical season. So we're going to talk about May, my reflection of that in a physical stance. I have been going to the gym more consistently this month than I did before. Now I have not been as consistent as I want to, but I have been more consistent than I have been in the recent past, right? So baby steps, y'all, baby steps. I got some things coming up later on this year that I gotta get this body together, so I'm excited about that. I'm learning that I need more accountability partners when it comes to certain things, specifically going to the gym. I know one of my brothers, he wants to get back in working into the gym, so we're planning on being accountability partners for that. And I think also that could go hand in hand with the fast that we're going to do next month too. So I think we're going to create or manufacture something that helps with accountability and helps with keeping us on track when we do our fast and whatnot. So I'm thinking about that. But back into the realm of physical for this month of reflecting. I've been doing a lot of showing up for people, for my church, and it feels good because I was telling one of my brothers, one of my church brothers, that me being a part of the church and being so busy when it comes to being a part of church has kept me out of so much trouble and danger, y'all. I can't even explain to you. Being around people who worship God, who put God first, and just being constantly around that stuff has helped me so much. It has helped me with giving things to God that I don't have control of. It has helped me with keeping my mind, my body, and certain things away, because they wouldn't dare near come to church, or happen in church. So doing my best and being consistent in that, because I'm seeing the change and the transformation that me being so immersed in church and people who worship Jesus Christ has definitely shifted that for me and kept me safe, so that is the realm of physical season for physical for my May reflection. We're going to move on to season 3, which is the emotional season. So we're going to talk about my reflection of May this month. Emotionally, they were all over the place. I'm not going to lie. My emotions were up, were down, left, right, diagonal, all types of topsy-turvy everywhere. But because they were so uncontrolled, I don't say uncontrolled, no, because I controlled them. That's the thing. Because I had so many emotions happening, it had me sitting myself down for a little bit to be like, all right, what's going on with you? Yes, I'm sick. Yes, I'm going through these struggles. Yes, I'm having people question my dignity and all that stuff. And it made me be like, okay, something's wrong with you emotionally, because you're having these emotional feelings towards them. They're not reactions, because that's the thing. I'm quick to not, or to at least check myself to not react emotionally when it comes to certain things. But we're human. It's not always going to work out in that way. But I was noticing that, yes, my emotions may be all over the place, but I'm not reacting with them. I may compartmentalize them. I may only express them with Jesus when it's he and I in my prayer closet by myself. But I did not, for the most part. There were some times where my emotions got the best of me and I reacted to them. But for the most part, I had my emotions in check, or at least express them in a healthier manner that wasn't volatile to myself or others. For the most part. I'm going to keep saying that because I'm not perfect. Things happen. So last but definitely not least, season 4, we're going to talk about spirituality, the season of spirituality. So we're going to talk about my month of May in the spiritual sense. Y'all, I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of church work, and it feels good. And I'd say it feels rewarding because I'm having a better understanding of God. I am having connections with people that God is leading, and that God is at the helm of their life, right? And because of that, it is putting me in a position where I'm learning more of the Word. I'm reaching for the Bible more consistently than I have before. I'm having an interest in learning more and being around people who learn. One thing about me, I loved school because I loved learning new things, right? And what I've learned being out of school is that I'm going to forever be a student, even if I may not be in a conventional institution of teaching, right? You can learn from people down the street. You can learn from people that you may not even know, right? And I'm always open to learn more about topics that I'm interested in. So Christ, the Bible, church, I'm learning so much, and there's interest in it for me. And because of that, I'm getting fed, spiritually. Now, this month it was difficult because my mindset and everything was all out of whack, but I'm still submerged in it, even if I'm not 100% in it in that moment, right? Just like I said at the beginning of the podcast, is that showing up is half the battle. Me being present, I'm going to get something, even if it's a word or a sentence or something. I'm going to get something that's going to strengthen me spiritually, right? So yeah, that would be my reflection spiritually for May. So with that being said, we have made it to the end of the podcast. This is the wrapping up portion of the podcast. So as we said, the theme of this month, the month of May, this month went by fast, y'all. It went by super duper fast. But the theme of the month is what you water grows, right? And our words of the week were momentum, were mindset, and maturity. And those showed up quite a bit for me. So one portion of our wrap up, our closing, is a portion called Know For Sure, right? And so what that means is something that I know for sure, for a fact, from the beginning of the episode to where we're at now to the end, right? And so for me, I know for sure that it is true. What you water grows, Sometimes we could be looking at other people's lives and be like, man, I want that. I deserve that. I need that, right? But you can get everything that's destined for you if you water if you water where you're at, and where you're at will grow if you tend to that. If you take time to cultivate the soil that you're in, the things that you're doing, so take a look at the things that you're doing in your life, and if they are helping you grow, or are they becoming a hindrance for you, right? And take note and take inventory, and then be like, yes, this is hurting me, but this is helping me, right? And then just start moving and operating in the things that are helping you grow, right? I know for a lot of people, even me, sometimes those hard truths are not easy to swallow. They're hard truths, they hurt, and so knowing that some things that you love to do may be causing you to not grow or prevent you from growing is a hard truth, right? And that's where fasting, accountability, all that come in when we're trying to purge those things, right? So that is something I know for sure. All right. Last but definitely not least, let's do my shameless plugging. I am a life coach, and I have a 4-week coaching experience called Through the Seasons, where I'll walk with you through whatever season you may be currently in. It's designed for people who feel unseen, emotionally stuck, or in between chapters or seasons, right? And if that's a space where you want to find clarity and be heard, that's the space for you, right? If you guys are interested in more of that coaching experience or more information on future coaching experiences, feel free to DM me here or email me at ivsznz@gmail.com. Again, that is ivsznz@gmail.com if you are interested in any of my coaching experiences. Also, if you want to be a part of the Four Seasons community, we have a Discord server that is live and active. You can click on the link in the chat. I just put in the chat for you guys. On the Discord server, you will be notified when I go live. You'll be notified when I upload my videos on YouTube, which I am putting in that in the chat as well. And any other coaching experiences that may need be public, right? So please join the Discord. It's free $99, and you can be part of the Four Seasons community. And last but definitely not least, I put in the chat as well my YouTube channel for the podcast. All of the previous episodes of the podcast are up there, or will be uploaded over there. Just bear with me. But yeah, that is where you'll find all the past episodes, because Twitch does not save everything, and the things that you do save, it is a capacity at certain points. And so I'm at capacity with with a lot of the stuff from season 1 and season 2. Y'all, we in season 3, and this is episode 20 ? No, episode 19. Episode 20 is next week. Yes, this is episode 19. So being consistent for 19 weeks has been good. So yeah, join the YouTube. It's free $99 to subscribe. It'll help your boy out tremendously. But I think that's it. Again, shout outs to the Four Seasons community for coming out and showing up and supporting. I really appreciate y'all. Shout outs to the followers, the lurkers, and everybody in between. I appreciate y'all too. The subs, y'all know I appreciate y'all most definitely. But yeah, I will be back here this Saturday for my co-working stream at 11 a.m. If you're new to a co-working stream, that is another place that promotes accountability, goal completion, and a sense of community too. So if that's something you're interested in, same channel, just at 11 a.m. this Saturday. But yeah, with that being said, again, thank you so much to the Four Seasons community. Thank you to the followers, the lurkers, the subscribers, and everybody in between. I appreciate y'all so much. So with that being said, we're going to close it out. We're going to close it out here. So be good to yourselves and be good to everybody else. And I will see you guys later. Bye.